Welcome to the online credit workshop masterclass. In this class, you'll learn everything you need to know as it pertains to your credit and how to take your credit from where it is now to where you want it to be. We are your instructors. Hello, you got Mr.
and Mrs.
Smith. And really, we just want to kind of give you a little background and just kind of express why we feel you should listen to us. I mean, we are two people who understand what it feels like to have 800 credit scores. Prior to us gaining knowledge about what we're about to share with you, we were able to take our credit scores to a level of credit scores being in the 800. I had two credit scores that were a little bit over 800 and one that was like 794 due to the information that we're about to share with you. And even after making a large purchase such as a home, it didn't hurt our credit to the point where I still have high 700 credit scores, all because of this information we're about to share with you. So hopefully you gain an understanding of something that you can take, run with, duplicate, and get your credit score wherever you want it.
Yeah, most definitely. Some of you guys know us for teaching financial education, but credit is an aspect that you do not want to sleep on. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, let's just go over some facts, okay? It is a fact that everybody is interested in credit from some angle, okay? Let's get into more facts. 68 million people have bad credit. 40 million more have an error. Did you know that in 2018, credit was a $3 billion industry? 79% of people who disputed errors were successful in removing them. And at the end of the day, everyone wants good credit.
Gotta love it, gotta love it. Now, we wanted to give you paint a picture as it relates to the ages and how it connects with your credit. So these are just some statistics as it relates to the scores by age. Does age have an effect on your score? You might be wondering, am I at an age where I should have high credit score, or am I too young to have a high credit score? Well, let's give you the statistics and we'll break down the truth behind the matter. If a person is 70 plus years of age, on average their credit score is about 730. So they have good credit, typically 70 and above. 50 to 69, their average credit score is 700. 35 to 49, their average credit score is 655. 21 to 34, which is the range that we fall in, their average credit score is 634. And under the age of 20 typically has an average credit score of 630. Now, we told you we had 800 plus credit scores, and we fall into the range of people who average a credit score of 634. So obviously that does not have to be the case, but statistically, the older you are, the greater chances your credit score will be higher. The reason being is you just had more opportunity to experience using your credit in order to make it good or bad. So if you're older, you probably had more credit cards. You probably applied for more loans and had cards that you may have paid off, or purchased a home that allowed your credit score to be higher than someone who was under the age of 20. So age has an effect, but not really. It's more so about the experience you gain during your credit process. But we at least wanted to give you statistics because it all goes hand in hand.
All right, so let's talk about income, you guys. Do you think that your income often reflects your score? Yes, absolutely. So let's go through, again, just some more statistics. $30,000 or less, your average credit score is 590. Anywhere between $30,000 and $1 to $49,999. Guess what? The average score is 643. And between $50,000 and $74,999, the average score is 737. Now, basically, statistics are showing that poor credit is often the result of the lack of income. So your lack of money, I don't know if you heard this saying, your lack of money costs you money, and it also obviously costs you your credit score. So let's talk about, just some solutions to these quote-unquote problems.
Absolutely. And this is what you got to understand as it relates to, the amount of money you have in your credit. If you have more money, then you're more likely to pay off your debt. So that puts you in a higher position or a higher chance of you having a higher credit score. So if your credit is not good based on your income, then it might be a good idea to increase your income in order to heighten your score. But we'll dive more into that a little bit futuristically. Now, let's talk about the credit score. You know, what is a good credit score? Most people get this answer right away. When we take questions and we're doing a live workshop and we ask this question, most people say they understand what good credit is. Well, let's talk about the best credit. Best credit is 800 to 850. 850 is actually a perfect credit score, but anything 800 or above is considered to be the best credit. Excellent credit, 750 to 799. Good credit, which is what we ask, is 700 and above. So anything above 700 is considered to be good, excellent, or best credit. Specifically 700 to 749. Fair credit, mediocre, is 650 to 699. Poor credit, 600 to 649, and of course bad credit is from the bottom to 600 or 599. So 300 to 599. So this is what you got to understand. The scale for credit is from 850 to 300. So a lot of times people look at an 850 score and feel as though they're starting at 0. No. Everybody at least is graded on the curve and they start with at least 300. What you have to concern yourself with is gaining that 550 points. So what can you do in order to get that 550 points that you need in order to have good, excellent, or be in the best credit situation? So it's 550 points that are available to you that you can use to build your credit score. Let's dive in.
All right, so let's talk about the whole score. See, a lot of times people, they only concern themselves with getting things removed from their credit. But what you have to understand is that's not enough. That's not the only factor when building your score. There are actually 5 factors that will, that contribute to your overall score, okay? So we automatically start with the 300 points. One of the factors that benefits your whole score is your payment history. This is the biggest, taking up 35% of your overall score. It amounts to about 192.5 max points that you can get. That's simply just paying your bills on time, you guys, not missing any payments, not being late on your payments. Then you have the credit utilization, which is number 2. The credit utilization accounts for 30% of your overall score. So again, another really big chunk. That amounts to about 165 of your max points. Credit utilization is exactly as it sounds, utilizing your credit. But here's the thing. If you have a credit card with a $10,000 balance on it, you want to make sure that you're keeping that utilization as low as possible. Recommended between 10 and 30%, okay? And that will contribute greatly to your overall score. Number 3 is your credit history, which amounts to about 82.5 of your max points, and that is 15% of your overall score. One of the things that they're looking at is the length of your credit history. Again, it's all about you being active, you paying your bills on time, you not missing anything. So the history is extremely important. How well do you maintain, all right? How well are you doing overall over the last, year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? What is your credit history actually reflecting? Then we have new credit, which accounts for 55 of your max points, and number 5, credit mixture, which accounts for 55 of your max points. Both of those individually are 10% of your overall score. Now, the reason why I said those together is because they kind of go hand in hand. New credit is you actually going out and applying for new credit, whether that is a department store card, whether it's a credit card, whether it's a loan, whatever the case may be. But you also have to have credit mixture, and keep that in mind when you're applying for new credit. So you need to make sure you have both installment and revolving debt. And we'll get to that a little bit later in the presentation. But all of these 5 factors are extremely important, and this makes up your whole score.
And needless to say, what I like to tell people is, look, if a person that you're trusting with your credit isn't focusing on all 5 of these factors,
right,
then you probably need to fire them. Truth be told, we want to position you to do this yourself because you can. And if you're not doing it yourself, then whoever is acting on your behalf. But if these 5 factors aren't a topic of discussion, then you might want to fire whoever you're using. So let's dive into these 5 factors, shall we? Payment history. So This is the top one. Like we stated, this is 35% of your credit score. We want to spend a decent amount of time on this because this is what a lot of people mostly focus on, which we understand why they do because it's the biggest chunk of what affects your credit score. The solution to making sure your payment history is reflecting positively on your credit is 4 letters. Now, there are more letters, but these fantastic 4 letters are solid in really helping a lot of people. We got testimonies for days of people who use these letters to get their credit score to where they want it. The first letter is the debt verification letter. See, when you pull your credit report and you look at your score, you see what's reflecting, you see what's on it. It's verifications of debt or debt that is on there, but if it's not verified properly, then it can be removed from your credit report. So the debt verification letter is exactly what it sounds like. When you send this letter off, they have to verify the debt. Is this your debt? Is the name associated with the debt properly? Is the spelling right? Is the address correct? They have to verify that this debt belongs to you. And by doing so, then they're able to say that, yes, this is a legitimate debt. But if they're not able to do so, then guess what? It's benefits to you, even if it was your debt. And I won't dive too deep into that. The second letter, and these are sent out in series. You send out the debt verification letter first. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, then it's a letter that's sent out that causes them to have to remove it. However, if they do, now you need to find out what method they use to verify that debt. So that's called the method of verification letter. So basically, they have to justify how they went about verifying that there was your debt. If they didn't use the proper method, then guess what? They have to remove these things off of your credit report, which leads us to number 3. If the method of verification wasn't proper based on the FCRA, then they have to respond to this violation of the federal or the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That Fair Credit Reporting Act's right letter basically is you being able to use the Fair Credit Reporting Act to your advantage. And if they didn't abide by those rules, which is what all of the laws in conjunction with credit, they operate by this FCRA. So if they're in violation, then they have to remove this off of your credit score, which heightens your credit score and gets you the ability to claim more of that 35%. So that third letter a lot of times stops them in their track because either A, they didn't use the proper verification, or it might not have been legitimately your debt, and because of it, they are in violation. If they are in violation, that's a plus for you. Now, if they made it through those things and they didn't come with the proper proof as it relates to the violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you send them an intent to litigate letter. If you know anything about litigation, that basically means you have to get the law involved. There will be a lawsuit in place. So if you send that letter and you let them know that you intend to litigate based on them not doing what they were supposed to do properly, now they also are in a position to where they probably have to get things removed off of your credit, because if not, you're willing to take them to court. And in many cases, it's not worth it for them to pursue or allow them to have to be taken to court just for whatever debt it is that you're wanting to get verified or get removed off of your credit. So there are a few other letters, as I stated, but these are the ones that can be used depending on your situation. In most cases, this is enough to get you to really gain control of your payment history. You see, we're still just talking about the payment history, which is 35% of your credit report. So once you understand this and you apply these 4 letters, that heightens the chances of you taking advantage of that 35%.
And let me just add a nugget about the letters, you guys. You want to make sure whenever you're mailing off any form of letter, you're not doing that online. You're actually doing that by mail via certified mail, so that you can actually get a signed return receipt showing when those credit bureaus actually receive those dispute letters. They are on a time frame in which they have to respond to that letter. If not, guess what? That debt can be removed. All right, let's keep going.
I love it. I love it.
All right, let's talk about credit utilization. Now, credit utilization is a problem for so many people, but for us, the solution is income shifting strategy. And that's what we want you guys to understand as well. What is the income shifting strategy? Well, it's broken down in a few different a few different key nuggets, okay? Number one is correcting your tax withholdings. What does this mean? Now, most of the people that we work with, most of the people watching this video, you work a job, correct? Well, here's the thing. Your tax withholdings, also known as your W-4 form, did you know over 90% of Americans have that form filled out incorrectly? Therefore, they are overpaying in taxes every single time they get paid. Guess what? If you just fill out that W-4 form correctly, it brings more cash flow into your household, and guess what you can do? You can start paying down your debt, aka lowering that credit utilization, okay, so that you are within that 10 to 30% that we want you to stay under. Number two is creating business income. We saw earlier in the slides how income can affect your credit score, especially the lack of income. You guys, we got to be open-minded. A job alone is not going to get us where we're trying to go. It's not going to allow us to be debt-free and really live life on our terms. Sometimes we have to take a step back and understand and realize when we need to bring in more income in order to better our situation. So you need to understand the importance of creating business income of some sort on the side so that you can actually get to where you want to be financially and you can really start paying off these debts and getting your credit where you want it. Number three is lowering your taxes. Now, I talked about the tax withholdings on a job, but guess what? When you become a business owner, one of the reasons why we're so passionate about business income is because there's a ton of perks. Taxes being one of those perks, okay? You qualify for hundreds of tax write-offs, tax deductions that you can actually claim during tax time. Whether you're single with no kids, whether you have kids, having a business can benefit anybody greatly because the government actually shows favoritism to business owners, and you are paying the legal minimum in taxes. Number four, debt elimination, right? I've been talking about that this entire time. You need more cash flow in order to start eliminating your debt. So if you're currently living paycheck to paycheck, you're one of the people that I'm talking to where you need to create another stream of income in order to pay off that debt. Even if you're not living paycheck to paycheck, let's say you're living comfortably, are you in the position to become debt-free? Do you know your debt freedom date? That is what it's all about. And then number five, new credit and increasing your credit limit. See, sometimes it's just a matter of when you're putting things in order, when you're really getting your debt down, when you're really on the right track to improving your score, you need that new credit. Sometimes it's just a matter of making a call to your credit card company and saying, hey, can I get an increase in credit limit? I'll give you our example. We had a credit card with a $10,000 balance on it, right? It was up and down, right? We were not being so responsible with that card. We finally got to the point where we said, look, let's just pay off this debt. Let's quit playing. So we paid off the $10,000 card. We paid it off completely. And within, I don't know, less than 30 days, that $10,000 limit increased to $16,000. They gave us an extra $6,000 just for paying that car off. But the thing about the credit game is a little bit tricky because paying it completely off is beneficial, but you don't want to keep it that way. The goal of credit is to utilize it. It's just to keep it under a small amount. So increasing your credit limit, guess what? That automatically lowers your credit utilization. Think about it like this. Let's say you had that same situation, a $10,000 balance, and you had a $5,000 balance on it right now from just things that you've been swiping on that card. Well, if your credit limit was to increase to the $16,000, now that $5,000 is looking way better when before you were at 50%. Okay, so I hope that made sense. This is all I'm saying, you guys. Solutions 1 through 4 help you to pay down revolving debt, while solution number 5 lowers your credit utilization by increasing your credit limit.
And this is why this is important, like we stated. This is 30% of your credit score, for one. For two, most people don't have a solution for that 30%. So that's what separates this information from things that you may have heard or people you may have paid or people that are paying those who are fixing their credit. Most people don't have a solution for credit utilization. We just gave you 5 in the form of a strategy. Let's proceed. Credit history. So we told you credit history is about 15% of your credit score. Our solution to credit history is having an authorized user. Credit history is basically just the history of your credit. We don't have to overcomplicate this. So what we mean by having an authorized user is this. Find a relative or a friend with a credit card that has good credit history. Some people call this piggybacking. You're able to piggyback off of their good credit history so that it reflects on your credit. So if you're added to their account as an authorized user, which is what number 2 says, asked to be added to their account as an authorized user, you get the benefit off of their responsible credit habits. This is the kicker. The credit owner doesn't even have to give you a card. You would just automatically inherit their good payment history. So that's key, because not only can that benefit you, you can use the same principle, the same strategy as it relates to your kids. You can allow them to become authorized users, not use the card. You continue to be responsible with your credit, and guess what? Their credit history is increasing just because they're on the account as an authorized user. So understand the power in that, and understand that this is just a strategy. And sometimes people charge people an arm and a leg just to get some additional credit history by making them an authorized user. However, you can do this yourself with relatives, good friends, people that you know who have good credit history and plan to keep it that way. Do you want to tell them your story as it relates to how your mom did?
Yeah, I mean, my mom, when I was a teenager, coming out of high school, she actually added me as an authorized user onto her card. Now, she did actually give me the card. It had a very low balance on it, and y'all, she was on me, okay? She was making sure, hey, make sure you pay that credit card off. Make sure you pay this. Hey, the due date is this. She was on me. Even though I was inheriting her good payment history, she also wanted to teach me how the credit game goes and how to utilize a credit card.
I love it, and that's the proper way to do it. So make sure that if they're allowing you to being added to the authorized user, that they are being responsible, and if you add anyone, you're being responsible as well, because it can make or break your credit score. Trust me, I've seen it in both ways.
Seriously. Now let's talk about new credit. All right, the solution to this is adding trade lines. So let's talk about different ways for you to actually obtain new credit. Number 1 is department store cards. Number 2, secured credit cards. You may be familiar with these, so I'm not going to go deep into this. Number 3 is getting a cosigner. So similar to kind of adding an authorized user on the account, this is for like a major purchase like a car. You can actually get a cosigner, someone that has really good credit to come in and cosign for that loan for you. Number 4 is your rental history. Yes, I did say that, your rental history. There are different companies out there that allows you to actually have your rental history reported to the credit bureaus. And guess what that does? That contributes greatly to your score. Here's the thing. A lot of people are not going to fall short on that rent. You know, my husband likes to play around and say, of all things, they're going to make sure they keep a roof over their head, even if they're sitting in the dark. Okay, so rental history is a really, really good one. We rented for a very long time. We were never late on our rent. So that would have been an amazing thing to actually be reported to the credit agencies. And then number 5 is a credit builder loan, which is very similar. The credit builder loan helps you to build your credit as well as an emergency fund simultaneously. So it's all about just being responsible. The new credit, it's a matter of being responsible while also increasing your score. That's really what this credit game is all about.
And that leads us to this. Because once you follow those steps, you see, we told you about payment history and the importance of it. We told you about, the credit utilization and the importance of it. We told you about credit history. We told you about new credit. And the reason why we told you about all of those things is because a portion of your credit, 10% to be exact, 55 points, are accredited to having credit mixture. So if you've done those things properly, you automatically, by default, position yourself to have a diverse amount of credit interactions that help you with credit mixture and help you maintain, boost your credit depending on your scenario. So our solution to having credit mixture is applying for credit. Number one, revolving debt. Most people are familiar with revolving debt in the form of credit cards. It's the amount of debt that you have that can never quite fully be paid off if it's constantly being used. And installment debt usually has a timeline to it. So installment debt, an example of that is an auto loan or a mortgage, because you have a certain amount of months that they expect you to pay on that, which is known as your installment. And if you have a combination of both of those, that gives you credit mixture. So a good example or a good balance of that is having 3 active revolving per 1 installment. That's ideal. So if you got 75% revolving, 25% installment, then that gives you a good mixture. But like I said, once you complete the first 4 credit scoring factors, you will automatically have some credit mixture. But if for any reason you don't, depending on your scenario, then make sure you have that balance, because it shows that you're a savvy spender, you're smart about your credit, and you are on your way to 750 plus credit.
Yes, most definitely. Now, guys, simple solution. We have the answers. It's all here. Hopefully you caught a lot of aha moments in this presentation. Fixing your credit is easy, okay? It does not have to be hard. All you have to do is follow the blueprint. Another factor is just maintaining your credit, creating a new stream of income. As I stated, being very responsible. Also, guess what? You can become an affiliate selling the most in-demand product, that is credit repair. And you can build a team of affiliates. So what we're talking about here is additional streams of income. I brought that up earlier, you guys. Look all around. Stores are closing like crazy. Jobs are not loyal. You cannot depend on them. It's up to you to create additional streams of income. But again, because you're here, we're going to go over our solution.
I love it. I love it. Now, don't be opposed to the business income. However, some people may be focused on credit, and we'll tell you what you can do if that's your sole focus. But this is what we want to put on the table, just to give you access to not only what we've already given you, because you can take what we've already given you and run with it. You know what letters you need. You know what's required. You know how your credit score is affected by what. But in addition, this is our unique proposition. We'll give you access to 26 DIY videos. DIY stands for do it yourself. We want to position you to be empowered so you can do certain things for yourself. We'll give you those 4 rounds of dispute letters. You don't have to Google it. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to wonder if it's the right one. We give you the ones that you need, and you just edit it based on your situation. We give you access to the income shifting strategy, which is what reflects on your credit utilization so you can conquer that 30% of your credit score. We give you access to debt elimination software. So now you're not guessing on how you want to eliminate your debt. You got a software you plug it into, and it makes it seamless. We give you access to our minimized expense calculator, because you might have some expenses that aren't necessary, and if you minimize your expenses, that gives you more cash flow that you can apply to more debt. We also want to get you to reestablish your credit sources, so that way you know the right direction you need to head as it relates to the sources of credit and where you're getting it from. We'll give you access to an investment calculator, because see, gaining a good credit score is great, but having a roadmap to invest and turn that good credit score into wealth is better. We give you access to that. Plus, most people need more income, so we want to give you the ability to earn business income. You having business income puts you in a position to have tax deduction plus more income, and who couldn't benefit from more cash flow by sharing the good news and the power of credit.
All right, so let's talk about the features included with this great system. Again, you get the credit repair. You get the income shifting membership, which includes debt elimination training and software, your tax withholding training, your tax record keeping app, investment education, as well as a lucrative income opportunity. I mean, to me, it's just a no-brainer, but we're going to keep going.
I love it. I love it. And this is what you got to understand. I think I skipped one. Yes, this is what you got to understand. Stick around to the end, because we want to give you something special. But basically, what we want to give you access to is what we call the My Credit System, and give you the ability to be an affiliate, because we believe that most households can benefit from more business income. So what's the investment in order to get access to the My Credit System and become an affiliate? Well, $99 one time, then $35 or $34.95 per month. Gives you access to the credit system as well as you being an affiliate. But as I stated, stick around to the end because we got some good stuff we want to share that I think some of you action takers might benefit from. Now, once you're an affiliate, understand there are no quotas, no upsells. Once you get in, you got everything you need. No hassles, no experience required, meaning that you get trained, you get taught on how to go about being an affiliate and go through the My Credit system. So that's intact. Digital and automated. We live in a digital world, so you don't have to worry about downloading software or having these big expensive books that you pay a couple $100s. Everything is digital. You get access to it instantly and it's automated. And then every customer receives their own private portal, meaning that all you need is your username, your password. You get direct access to everything we discussed and some, plus your ability to refer customers and earn great income, all bundled up in this package. Stick around to the end, and if you understood what we were talking about business deductions, you'll see that the $99.95 plus the $34.95 is tax deductible. But that's a whole nother conversation. But let's talk about the income a little more and what you get access to. Stick around to the end.
All right, y'all. This is what you got to understand. At the end of the day, credit repair is a hot trend. I told y'all earlier in this presentation, in 2018, it was a $3 billion industry. When customers purchase the membership, you earn upfront as well as residual income. You earn $10 on your first affiliate membership plus a 5% income match. You get up to $115 on each personal membership, starting with the second membership sale. Up to $105 on each team membership sale, plus up to $8 monthly residual income on membership sales that are active 1 month or more. See, here's the thing. You have residual bills. Why not get started with something that's going to allow you residual income where you're being paid month after month after month? See, most people aren't thinking like this. They're so comfortable and set on their job income. It's time for a shift, you guys, and residual income is really where it's at. That's the true key to having wealth. That's the true key to living life on your own terms and just really getting your credit as well as just your life where you want it to be.
Now, what does that actually look like? Because just imagine if you had $2,000 in residual bills, but you created a residual income that was $2,000 a month. Now that residual income just created freedom for you. So numerically, what does that look like? Because if you're anything like me, you're like, okay, what's the income earning potential? I hear credit is a hot topic, but numerically, what does that look like? Okay, we have a leverage compensation plan that allows affiliates to earn income. And here's just an example of what can happen. Now, we know that every situation, every person, and the drive that they put into it is different, but let's just at least paint a picture. So let's just say that you average a weekly amount of affiliates enrolling into your business every week, 5 people. What that weekly pay looks like is $525. And if you do that weekly, you'll have a total of 250 affiliates. That's your yearly total with a monthly residual income of $1,250. So you're right there at almost $2,000 in monthly residual. That's $1,250. All right, let's imagine you said, you know what, I'm going to average 25 people into my organization on a weekly basis. What that looks like in weekly pay is $2,600 and $25. So a little bit over $2,600 for a yearly total of 1,250 affiliates, which turns into $10,000 in monthly residual. A lot of people want $10,000 a month. A simple formula to doing it is averaging 25 people to join your organization a week, which will turn into $10,000 in monthly residual. Let's proceed for the people who are go-getters and really want to run with it. Let's say you average weekly affiliates of 100 people per week. What that weekly pay looks like is $10,000, $500 per week. It's people that are doing it, which as a result, you get 5,000 affiliates on your team, which is $40,000 in monthly residual. Some people don't even make that in a year. Imagine making that monthly. Weekly affiliates of 250 turn out to be over $26,000 in weekly pay, and a team of affiliates of 12,500 by the end of the year, which is 6 figures a month. 6 figures a month, $100,000 per month. And we'll just stop right there. Now, let's talk about the product sales and the commission, because this is just people signing up to be an affiliate, to be able to distribute the My Credit system and earn income. But let's talk about product sale commission. You can market at retail price of $99.95 and earn up to $36 on a personal retail. So if a person only wants the My Credit system and they pay $99.95 for it, you can sell them just the system alone if they do not want to be an affiliate. So if that's you, you can also just get the product, the My Credit system, alone just by visiting smartcreditkit.com, and you'll get access to the credit system alone, but you will not have the ability to earn income and become an affiliate. So you can retail their product and you can earn up to $36 on the personal retail sales. Now, let's just say your team that you're growing of affiliates decide that they want to market it. Your team can market it at retail at $99.95 as well, and you earn up to $15 in the form of overrides on team retail sales. So when they're marketing the product, you also earn income as well. So you get upfront weekly and income compounding residuals and smart cash flow strategies. You see, it's one thing for us to talk to you about making the money, but when you got smart cash flow strategies in place, that's showing you how to keep the money. So in our words, we like to say that this just makes smart financial sense. Now, as we stated, the My Credit system allows you to become an affiliate, but also get access to everything you need in order to better your credit. Now, I told you, if you stayed around to the end, I wanted to throw something special out there for the people who are action takers, for the people who really want to get the ball rolling as it relates to boosting their credit score and or making money with this system. For those of you who take action, the first 10 people who take action right after seeing this video, you can get access to the My Credit system for literally $19.95. Instead of the $99.95, then it's $34.95 a month. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, if you don't take advantage of getting access to your own business platform with the ability to boost your credit for under $20, then what are we talking about? So go ahead and take advantage. For the first 10 people who take advantage of that offer, you get access for $19.95. Once those slots are filled, the price increases to $49.95. Still a heck of a deal. $49.95 and $34.95 a month. You get all access. We don't hold back anything for the next 10 people who take advantage of that price point. Once those slots are filled, the price then increases to the $99.95 that we discussed and the $34.95 a month. Still a banging deal because it should cost $1,000 literally to get access to everything that we give you. So take advantage of it now. If you go to the link that's provided and the $19.95 slots are no longer available, no big deal. Go to the $49.95. If those slots are no longer available, no big deal. Take action at the $99.95 because it's worth well over that, and you'll be able to not only boost your credit, but earn income by showing people what it is that you now have access to.
All right, that's all we got.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Signing out.
Out.